Greetings. Sorry, we're getting a very slow start with the whole video blog process today. I'm just kind of a little... So this is my first day off in like a week, and I was beginning to lose my mind. I was going a little wacko. So, yeah. A little spastic today, but that's okay, because I'm off. And then I've got like this whole work day off, work day off, work day off thing for like 6 days. So I'm actually going to like become a person again instead of a zombie. So I've got a whole range of things to discuss today. I'm very excited. I have visual aids because, you know, I like that sort of thing. You're also going to have to deal with the fact that I'm going to be sipping tea because I just made my tea, and, you know, Earl Grey and me, we're like that. So, sorry. So I posted a thing on Facebook earlier asking for topic requests for the blog, and the only 2 people who responded were my mom and Graham, and they said that I'm supposed to talk about how much I miss each of them and Texas. Listen, ladies, we got to branch out here a little. We've got to come up with new conversational topics to discuss, rather than how much I miss you guys. Because, I mean, I do, really, more than anything in the world, but it's not a 10-minute topic of conversation. However, as much as I'll deny having said this later, although I don't know how that works with this being on film, I do kind of miss the state. I'm not gonna lie. I don't miss the weather at all. You guys can keep it. And I don't really miss the driving, and I don't really miss the traffic, and I don't miss a lot of the people, but I do miss the convenience of a 24-hour Walmart. I do miss, well, we're not even going to go into the food. You all know that I miss the food. Oh my god, I miss the food. But, so I'm really on the fence about the whole missing, not missing the state of Texas thing. I can tell you I won't move back there, but I'm very excited about our trip to visit next month. It's gonna be exciting! Right, anyway, so, that segues into food. We're going to talk a little bit about food today. I do not have a visual aid for this, I'm sorry. So for reasons completely unknown, I decided a couple of weeks ago that I really wanted some fresh vegetables. So I went to Trader Joe's, which is kind of like a... Oh god, what is a Trader Joe's? It's... Well, you can Google. It's like a Whole Foods, but on a smaller scale, and weird, but awesome. It's... Anyhow. So it's a grocery store. They really don't sell any name brands at all. Except for their own kind of in-house thing. And anyway, I went off on this trek, and I got a shit ton of vegetables and fruit, and that was about it. So all I have eaten, other than my one cheating day the other day, which we'll talk about in a minute, for like 2 weeks, has been fruits and vegetables and fish. A little bit of chicken. But that's it. Like, no ice cream, no nachos, no pasta, really, except for some ramen on occasion. That's it. And it's been working like a charm. Like, I'm taking these cute little salads and fruit with granola for lunch, and everybody's like, oh, you're eating so healthy, blah, blah, blah. Which I am, but just because I like it. It's not like a plan, it's just, you know, I like vegetables, and I like fruit, and it occurs to me I can live on these things relatively cheap and then have the added benefit of being relatively healthy. So, we're doing that. So the other day, I had a night where I didn't get to sleep a lot because of work, and I was like, oh, screw it, this is just going to be my cheating day. And so I went and I got street vendor food for breakfast, and then I had some pasta for lunch, and by the end of the day, my entire body was just like, because it was so not used to that anymore. So I'm mildly concerned about this whole come to Texas, eat myself stupid plan, because I really want to do it, but I don't know if I can. So we are going to try to, like, split everything that we eat, thereby minimizing the damage. So anyway, that's just been nifty. Pardon. Oh my goodness. Earl Grey tea makes me so happy. So, anyway, I want to talk a little bit about work and my screensaver. So I have been at the store that I'm in now for almost a year. It'll be a year in 2 months. So for the last 10 months, I have been wearing a pair of shoes to work. One pair of shoes, actually, to work. And because unlike some people like Shalise, I'm not cute and fashionable, and I don't care about my work clothes because they wind up getting destroyed. So anyway, so I've been wearing these shoes, and I finally decided yesterday it was time to retire the shoes, which is a sad moment in my life because I really do love these shoes. So I have brought them as a visual aid. So let's see, which one is worse? I think it's this one. Any of your friends who work in retail, if you don't, or if you have never worked in retail, you cannot possibly understand the maddening pain and agony of being on one's feet for 10 hours a day. And I know that sounds like a cop-out, and like, oh, we'll just get the right shoes. But there's no getting the right shoes. Like, it just sucks. So I had bought these shoes because they were very flat, and they were very lightweight, and they felt nice on my feet. And me and these shoes have bonded. So the soles of these shoes is, let's see, is there a way I can show this? Is totally smooth right here. There's no tread left on them. There's a little bit of tread left in the middle, but there's no tread left on the top of these shoes from miles and miles and miles of walking. I mean, these are just like a, little pair of, wow, there's like not a good way to get this. Hang on. They're just like a little pair of, little Ketty looking shoes. Okay? Now, the issue with these shoes, if I insert my hand into said shoe, is that I can then stick my hand outside of the side of the shoe. Isn't that awesome? So this is a year's worth of wear and tear on these shoes, as I can stick my entire hand out of it. The other shoe is not quite as bad. I can only get 3 fingers out of it. But these have been my trusty work shoes for a year. I really think I've gotten my 15 bucks out of them. But this is what my feet have endured for the last year. This. So, and this isn't even walking to and from the store. I don't put these on until I get in the building. So, your friends who work retail, who complain, and you're like, oh, you silly thing, quit dreaming about your job. Just know that you could have shoes with a mouth. Anyway, I just thought that was hysterical. And I don't mind the holes in the shoes, actually. The only reason I'm retiring them is because this hole has gotten... wait, hold on. It's not this one. It's the one with the whole hand hole. It has actually gotten to the point that the hole is on this little angle right here, if you'll notice. And I keep catching this angle of plastic on the carpet and almost tripping over myself. So, I don't care about the holes. I thought they were kind of funny. I think they're worn in just perfectly, but I can't be tripping on my own feet on tile floors. So, anyway, that's my shoe thing. So school starts in 2 weeks, and I'm freaking out a little bit, because I have to do a ton of writing, and like, I love it, but under pressure writing is just so scary. So anyway, this semester is a little bit different because there are only 2 children's literature classes, and I have to take 3 literature classes. So this semester, we have to take a class outside of our concentration, because there aren't any classes. So I have decided to take a class called Writing in the Vernacular. And what this basically entails is that I'm reading lots of books that are written in a, I don't want to call it a slang, but, well, for instance, where are you? There you are. So, like, I'm going to be reading, for instance, The Sound and the Fury, by Faulkner, which is written in the South, and it's got a lot of Southern dialect, and it's like just picking a page at random. Oh wow, I don't even know if I can read this out loud. Look at dem little chillin' sittin' dar, for instance. But it's written in such a way that you hear the dialect, so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm also reading Push by Sapphire, which was made into a movie a while back. It's actually fabulous. I'm not even close to done with it yet, but what I've read has been awesome. So anywho, I started reading this anthology for this class called Rotten English. And it's an anthology of stuff written in the vernacular. So, anyway, there I was, cruising along, totally skipping the poetry section, because me and poetry are kind of like my mom and tomatoes. And I stumbled upon this author that I like. So I have taken a detour from the anthology, which I'm supposed to start reading prior to the start of the semester, to visit this author's other work. I have to read this book for this class anyway, so I figured I'd get ahead. But this is a series of short stories, kind of. It's actually, it's not. That's how it's described, but that's not what this book is. This is this author's first work. He is mostly famous for The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. But he, the author is from the Dominican Republic, and his family moved to New Jersey. And so his fiction all kind of deals with characters that are doing that. So in Drown, for instance, it says that it's a short series of short stories, but it's not. It's like a novel told out of order. All the short stories are about the same characters and the same family, but they're told like totally in no order at all, like that. So like in each of these little stories, which, I don't know, each of them last, let's see here, just as an example, like this many pages. I mean, they're, you know, really small. You have to figure out at what point in life the author is. And are they in the Dominican, or are they in Jersey? And is he adult, or is he a child, or whatever? But it's absolutely amazingly compelling writing. I love this book. Like, in a day or two of reading, I'm only got this little bitty part right here left to read. Like, it's awesome. It's not nearly as hard to read as that sentence from Faulkner that I picked. It's actually quite beautiful. So, anyway, this has made me kind of want to write about my childhood a little bit. Sorry, everybody, but you're all going to be in a book. But it's kind of... He writes about his childhood in a way where it's kind of, gosh, how do I describe this? It's... like, he talks about the stuff that was maybe not so awesome, but that, you know, when you're a kid, you don't always realize that things are not so awesome, so you think that things are kind of okay. So, anyway, he writes it in a very real way, and in a very identifiable way, and I feel like I had a very interesting life growing up, and perhaps I've got things to say that people might relate to, so I'm working on it. We're going to see how it goes. But to every one of you that's going to be in my book, my sincerest apologies. So that aside, I want to talk very briefly about a book. I know this has turned into like less of a video blog and more of a book review, but me and books, it's kind of what my life is, so sorry. So working at a bookstore, we get these advanced reader copies of books, and they are copies of books that have not come out yet. In fact, my shelf up there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 of the books on that shelf up there were of this kind. Because the idea is that people who work in books would read them, and then that way when they come out, you can be like, oh my god, this book was amazing! And that's how they get reviews and things like that before books come out. Because these go to publishers and reviewers and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, whenever the cool teen ones come in, or ones that sound exciting, I take them. And so this one is a book called Every Day by David Levithan, who was my literature professor my first semester. One of the funniest people in the whole world, and the evil doppelganger to my dear friend Rusty. Like, their mannerisms were exactly the same. It was terrifying. Anyway, so this book is awesome, and it's coming out in like 2 weeks, and all of you should go to your local Barnes & Noble and pick it up and read it. Because it's fantastically original. The idea of this book, and it never explains why, and I love that, but some people who've read it have not. The character in this book, whose name is A, like the letter, wakes up every single day in the body of a different person, and lives a life in their, or like a day in their life, and then moves on. And it's fabulous, because this character falls in love with a girl, that they meet, and then, you know, tries to navigate convincing this girl, first of all, that every day they're going to be in a different body, but also trying to figure out how to make a relationship work when, you know, every day they wake up, you know, maybe 30 miles away, maybe 40 miles away, and in this other person's life. And it was one of the saddest but most beautiful things I've ever read. So all of you should go home and read it. The end. Okay, what can I talk about that has nothing to do with books? Well, you could all say hello to Lord Waddleston. He's the Widow Penguin. I stole this from Mike before he and I started really, like, be hanging friends and hanging out, and before he knew he was moving to New York, and I kidnapped Lord Waddleston and said that Lord Waddleston was moving to New York so he could go to Central Park Zoo and meet the penguins. And Mike has never gotten over that. And he can't really accept the fact that Lord Waddleston likes me better. So, anyway, we're coming home in September. And we're gonna be home for like 6 days, which is awesome. I think. Yeah. And other than stop it, screensaver. Other than a Six Flags day, like, I've kind of got no plan, other than the food thing. I don't yet know if we're staying with my family or Mike's family, which, you know, I probably should know that by now, but I don't, because I'm kind of not a preparer person. So I'm going to try to see lots of people, but that almost killed me last time we were there, so I'm going to try to plan this out a little better. There are a couple of people on my list that I absolutely have to see because I didn't get to see them last time, or because they're involved in the Six Flags plan, or they're my family and they'll kill me if I don't see them. But yeah, it's really exciting and we're totally jazzed. We're still hanging out up here geocaching and adventuring because adventuring is awesome. Like, Mike's parents were up here about a month ago, and while we were waiting for them, we went adventuring around the city and finding geocaches. It was great. And hopefully summer's almost over. Thank God. Because, like, it's not the heat, but it's the humidity. And the humidity level here is such that you never really stop sweating, which is pretty nasty. Actually, it's a lot nasty. It's really kind of gross. I hate it. So that'll be done soon. I think it's supposed to hit 90 tomorrow, and then that should be the last kind of hot day for a while, so. Yeah, that's really kind of it. Like, I really didn't have a whole lot to say today, except, you know, my shoes and my books and hi and stuff, and I would have had more things to say, except nobody gave me topics. Although I suppose I can check the Facebook real quick and see if there's a topic that anybody put on there. Nope. Nope, nobody cares. Which is kind of sad. Yeah, that's kind of it. I did, whoa, heh. Okay, so this is weird, watching myself. So these little doo-doots on the wall right here, that's my IKEA project. And, the shelf there, it was a $30 shelf that I got for $3 because it had a scratch on it about this big. Because I'm awesome. And, the shelf above the door right here. Let's see if we can move this in such a way where you can see that. See, they're all above the door back there in the other room. I hung up like 55 bookshelves because we've got entirely too many books. Yes. Anyway, so there we go. So I guess we're gonna call that end of video blog. Cause I got nothing. We'll be home soon. We'll see all of you. It'll be great. We're gonna eat ourselves stupid. So we're probably just gonna, you know, do some Facebook posting and be like, hey, so we're gonna be at, you know, wherever on this day from this time. Show up. Right. Anyway, so everyone have a good day. Enjoy. Try not to catch West Nile virus. Apparently that's a big concern down there right now. Yes. End of vlog. So have a lovely day. I'll see you all soon. Mwah! Read lots of books.